Hey, Zudorug here, coming with another video review. And today I'll be looking at Leader Class Brawl, or Devastator, depending on how you look at things, from the 2007 movie toy line. So to start things off, here we have him in his vehicle mode, a modified M1 Abrams, I believe. But here's his size compared to a soda can. I'd say pretty much what you would expect out of a leader class. His colors are a pretty typical mix of light green, dark green, black, and a sort of whitish gray. Basically the standard colors you would expect to see on a military vehicle. As you can see, he's got all these blotches to be sort of a forest camo. Even got the reactive armor here on the side. Also a lot of detail. Lots of panel lines, divots, or rivets. Little missile launchers here. And of course he's got all the stuff up front. As far as posability is concerned, he's actually got quite a lot. For starters, he's got 4 plastic wheels down here, and they do the job reasonably well. As you can see, he's still a little bit bumpy. The fuel tanks back here can sort of pivot up and down, but that's more for robot mode. The turret can turn. Can only turn that far in that direction, but it can go a full 180 degrees in the other direction. I believe it's supposed to make some kind of sound when it does that, but as you can see, this figure is so old, I don't think all the sounds work anymore. The actual barrel can move up and down, and when you click it, it's supposed to light up and make a sound, but as I said, it doesn't work anymore. Then you have the turret up here. The missile launchers can turn side to side and angle a little bit. This machine gun doesn't move, but you can turn the turret, and when you do, it makes that noise and just sort of keeps doing it. Of course, it can only turn, 180 degrees because of all the wires and everything. And you can also turn it the other direction. You can also make those sounds with 2 buttons right here. One makes the sound of these missile launchers firing, and one makes the sound of the machine gun firing. Also, when you make any of the sounds, LEDs inside here light up. There's supposed to be one in here, and I believe it's still there, but it doesn't work. It also has this bomb scooper, which can move up and down, as well as these things. Not entirely certain what they are, but they can move up and down. That basically does it for posability in his vehicle mode. He doesn't have any accessories because the methodology of this line was for all of the accessories to be part of the toy itself, rather than things that you attach on. Of course, by the 3rd and 4th movie, they basically threw that all out the window. So, but as a result, the toys from the first movie generally, not exclusively, but generally, didn't have accessories. Of course, he's a transformer, so he can transform. So, let's get right into it. First thing you want to do, just to make things easier, is take the bomb scooper, pull it up, then press here on the headlights, cause this panel to spring back. At least it's supposed to. Then grab the treads under here, and it will take this entire side section and bring it out. Same thing over here. Just bump the camera to raise this up a little bit. Then take the turret and detach it from here. It's just a tab that goes into that clip. Take it all the way around. Oh, wrong direction. Then come under here, lift up this panel, bring the barrel out to the side on this double hinge, bring this panel down, bring it out like that, get the clearance in there, get that all closed up. This is supposed to spring back, but again, it's an old toy, so it doesn't work properly. I had to push it back, so then just take this, bring it down like that, and just get it out of the way. Let's raise it up a little bit more. Take the treads here and bring them up and out of the way. Take the arms, which are all in here, bring them out. And now we'll focus on the legs. We'll just split the legs from each other. Just a tab that goes into a clip there. Let's get that out of the way. Take the tread here, split it in half, fold it down, detach this section of the panel, bring it down on this arm, and this tab will go into a slot. Oh no, not. Okay, no. This tab will go into this slot. Just line everything up. There's supposed to be a tab here that goes into there, but on mine that tab is broken off. So instead you have to rely on this tab going into that slot. And it's not the best of connections, but it functions. Bring the backs of his feet out. Now, at least on mine, you don't want to bring all the feet all the way out, because then it doesn't give him any stability. I'll show you what I mean when we get to full robot mode. Flip out the toes, and then bring out the inner toe piece things. And just turn the leg forward. Do the same thing over here. Fold this in. Sort of get it out so it'll go. Collapse all this back. Tab into slot. And now there is a tab here that goes into the slot right there. And this time it'll actually work. Make sure everything's all lined up. Come on. There we go. Turn this forward. Bring out the back toes. Bring out the front toes. Bring out the weird middle toes. Maybe. Come on. Now what I meant before is, as you can see, he now has absolutely no stability. That's why, now these things actually sort of lock into place softly, and so what I do is I bring them down and just get them to just before where they lock in, just like that, and now he stands just fine. But anyway, bring that back up. Now you want to take this section and just sort of press this panel in so you can bring it all. Oh. Okay, I messed something up in a big way. I'll be right back. Told you to be right back. Anyway, what I messed up is you're not supposed to bring the turret up yet because it blocks all this from coming down. But now that we have it like this, the turret down here out of the way and these folded up all the way, just sort of get this panel out of the way a little bit. And then bring all this down like that. Just get his arms into position. Turn this around, bring this down, and then this will go back on this arm. And there is a clip in here that'll go on the tab right there. Not ready for you yet. Just like that. Same thing on the other side. Around, down, around, down, up, clip onto tab. Just get all that down. Now, bring the turret up and get it into place. Take this upper turret section, spin it. You done? Spin it around. Take these missile pods, bring them out to the side. Face them up. And then just orient them forward like that. Usually helps if you lock the turret back into place. And then the last thing to do was the big gimmick of the Leader Class figures during the first movie, and that is the head reveal. Get all this down. There is a button right here. When you push it, come on. When you transform him and bring up his head, he fires off all three sounds at once, and that first sound you heard is the sound that this would make if it still worked. One last little bit of transformation is to just take these claws and bring them in like that. And there you have Leader Class Brawl in robot mode. Here's his size to a soda can. Basically what you would expect out of a Leader Class figure. Maybe a little bit smaller since he's hunchbacked. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. As for his colors, they're more or less the same as before. Let's get this up. That light green with some darker green, a bit of clear plastic, that sort of off-white, light gray, black, but with some gold and actual white added in, and then a little bit of red that I will show you in just a minute. Above, below. That red is here in his eyes. For some reason, the light piping on the back of his head is clear, but on the front of his head, it's red. Still works all the same. If I can... Come on. Light up. It's not great light piping, but it does the job. The only thing I'm going to get is that the detail on the head's actually pretty good. If camera will focus. Hello. I don't know if it's, really 100% screen accurate, but that was rude. But it does a serviceable enough job. He looks very, very angry. He's actually got quite a lot of heft to him, which is rather surprising. You'd think with just all that plastic he wouldn't. Anyway, as far as posability is concerned, his head is on a ball joint, so it can go up and down, tilt side to side, and turn, but it can't turn... Oh, yes it can. But it turns at a weird angle, because the base of his neck is actually slanted forward instead of being flat. His arms can go all the way out on these joints, and then that far up more on those extra joints, so you actually get quite a good range of motion on his arms there. He has a swivel just above the elbow that can go all the way around, as well as a ratcheted elbow. In what I think would technically be an early version of Mech Alive, his hands can move up and down, but there's a little sort of piston section here that when you move his hands up or move them down, it moves in or out of the body. He has 3 fingers, thumb and these 2, and they are all individually articulated. Oh, they only move laterally, they can't turn or anything. They also don't have any joints, but you can get some neat poses out of it. All these pieces can still move. He doesn't have any waist articulation. Legs can move forward that far, back that far. Probably farther if you get the turret out of the way, but whatever. Legs can move out to the side that far. There is a swivel just above the knee that, if his legs weren't so bulky, could conceivably go all the way around. Legs can bend that far. One very clicky joint in the knee. And his feet can tilt side to side, but they can't move. Now, as far as accessories go, he doesn't really have any that can attach to him, but he has several that are already on him. Of course, he already has his missile pods. Of course, the sounds are still available. You can also raise his arm up and get the turret pointing forward in sort of an allusion to Armada Megatron. At least that's the only reason I can think of why he can do that, because he doesn't do it in the movie. The tank turret the tank barrel just disappears. You can still press, but you don't get the sound effect because mine's kind of naff. As far as his right arm goes, he has what I think is a grenade launcher or a shotgun of some kind, but it actually has a compressed form. There is a tab right here. When you pull it out just a little bit, this sight pops out, and this part will come out and eventually lock into place, and then you push out the rest of the way, and these 4 barrels appear. So that's pretty neat. Pretty neat little weapon there. On his left arm, he's got this claw blade combo minigun thing. Anyway, just take this black piece and move it back, and these blades will deploy. And you can fold out the minigun like that. Kind of a little pitiful minigun. Of course, you've still got all these things that can deploy to make him look extra pointy, but I like having them folded up. And he also has blades in his shins. They're just little notches you can get your nails into there, and then bring these down, and now he can kick people to death. I don't think he actually used those in the movie or even the very weird game, but they're there. Although when you have them open, you can see that his legs are completely hollow. Of course, they have to be for the arms to go in there. I'd say that just about does it. He doesn't really have any other accessories, and adding all this doesn't really change his posability. You can sort of flick that around. The only thing is that getting this weapon out means that his left hand can no longer move out. It can still move in, but this stops it. And of course, this sticks out farther than his fingers, so he can't really punch anyone. He would just end up sort of goring them. He can make a pretty good fist, though, which I like. Though it does look a little silly, but it does the job. One thing I don't like about this guy is, because of the fact that his hands only move in and out, you can't give him the proper elbow bend and have his hands pointing the right way. He's always got this sort of... That looks very Italian. No, he just got this sort of weird claw thing going on. Well, I guess technically his hands are just claws, but whatever. Moving on. Anyway, I'm just rambling here because I've sort of run out of stuff to say about this guy. I really just think he's a pretty cool figure. I mean, yeah, he's bulky and heavy, and if you transform him properly, he can't stand. I mean, see? You transform him properly without, putting these all the way up, he can't stand. But if you bring him down just a little bit, he stands just fine. These leg blades are a little silly, though. But that actually looks pretty cool. I like the way that looks on him. He just looks like a pile of walking weapons. So, to a degree, I can understand why he was called Devastator in the movie. That was still really stupid. He's definitely Brawl. and by God, I wish he could have been in with Onslaught. Anyway, I'm done rambling. That's it for my review of Leader Class Brawl from the 2007 movie. So, until the next review, bye-bye.